Okay, next question we're looking at then. We're just going to go straight into doing what we always do on all our questions, is we're looking at highlighting key things that we can spot. So again, first thing I'm spotting is it's worth 3 marks. So I'm going to circle that, I'll highlight it. Okay. Next bit is looking at topic words. I think I'm going to do first. So the first sort of topic is that I can see is that we're talking about initiatives and priority groups in the question. So I might highlight them. It's a bit sneaky, this one, because I like to be quite sneaky to some questions. This is a really good example of why we need to take time when we read our questions, is that we can also see that there's physical health in there, which is another topic. So that's just something we need to think about as well, because that's going to make it a little bit trickier maybe to answer this question or access 3 marks. Okay, so this gives us a good chance of knowing what we need to talk about. Next thing we're looking at is the command word. Okay, so command word is describe, so I'm going to highlight or circle that one. Okay, and quite often in the past, 3 mark questions are quite often explains, but this one's obviously describe. It's a little bit different. So what do we need to do first? Okay, and we're going to go down a similar sort of principle of what we've done before. So when we see describe, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to look to define something. So we're going to give a definition. Okay, and the thing that we're going to first of all try and define is one of our main topics, which is a priority group. So in my definition, I might give a definition of that, or I might give an example of a priority group. Okay, so less likely to participate. Okay, and then going on to now, how do we then get the other 2 marks? So it's not quite the same as explain, all right, but we're going down a different approach, but we are going to adopt a very similar approach to what we're doing. So if you remember before, we had E, I and R. This time we're going to go for sort of taking on the E part of it and giving an example. Okay, so less likely to participate, and an example of how that might then help to improve the physical health of someone is it might help them drop their resting blood pressure, for example. So that's my example, so drop in resting blood pressure. That's the same as if the question said, give an example of how participation could improve physical health. Okay, and then the next question that we might be thinking about is, what is the impact that that's going to have? Okay, so what impact is it going to be if your resting blood pressure reduces? Okay, the impact could be that this might lead to less chance of a stroke, for example, so some form of disease related to blood pressure that might reduce the chance of a stroke. So again, in a describe question, we are looking to maybe give a definition of the topic word, give an example, and then give an impact.